Y'all already know what's going on, man. We officially here. We told y'all starting July 3rd will be the official date of the Attitude Era podcast. We got a special guest here. But before we get into that, y'all know I'm going to be one of the people that y'all see a lot on this camera talking this wrestling stuff, breaking it down from the past, present, and future. But I'm not here alone. I got my other co-host on the left of me.
Z the Dropout, get money, drink water.
And I got my other co-host on the right of me.
Warren Wynn, a.k.a. Mr. I'm Not a Gimmick, and Money Drink Water, Attitude Era.
And then the special guest, somebody that I known for a very long time through my illustrious battle rap career that I created a friendship with, a bond with. And this man has a wrestling bar almost every time he steps in the ring. For those that don't know about battle rap, y'all will get in tune with it watching this. But wrestling and battle rap go hand in hand. If you're a wrestling fan and you watch certain people's battles, you will hear those bars in there. With no longer of a introduction, I present to y'all my brother Saga. Saga, let's clap it up. He's in the building, y'all.
The Saga.
Honored to be here for the first.
I feel like
episode,
we need a
man.
theme song for him when it hit. What would your theme song be?
Man.
No, let's start with that. If you're a wrestler,
what would your
all the
theme
theme
song
songs
be?
out there, what would your theme song
Man, I ain't gonna hold you. If it's not my song Legend
be? I like that
that I
song.
created, man, I heard it one time in a WrestleMania and it stuck with me. It'll be Johnny Cash, Ain't No Grave.
Ooh, which was used by Undertaker,
Undertaker,
for a little bit there.
right? One time for the WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be Ain't No Grave. If not my song Legend, then Ain't No Grave, man. That's the one.
Now, before we jump into the topics, because we got a lot of topics of things to discuss, I need everybody to hit that like, share, subscribe. Make sure you comment Attitude Era Podcast Official immediately. Aside from that, I want to give a huge shout out to Chalkline. They are sponsoring this podcast. You see the NWO Kevin Nash hockey jersey. You can go get that right now at Chalkline. Go to the website. They got everything WWE, everything WC, everything wrestling from that era that we're talking about. They got it there.
Facts.
Along with this DX jersey. I got it in black. I just seen they about to drop it in white.
That's about to be crazy.
Insane.
That's about to be crazy.
Big shout out to Chalkline. So before we get to the main topic, because today's episode is about NWO versus DX, which group was better, I want to start with a battle rap question for Saga. Saga, in battle rap, because there's people that's going to watch this that's not familiar, but we need to make the correlation. What time period do you feel like was the Attitude Era of battle rap?
Wow. Man, I would say the Attitude Era of battle rap, not even because I was involved in that era, but the NWX era. NWX era was just like, at that point, it was like anything goes. And I think with what NWX provided, was just like, we didn't make sense on paper, but it didn't have to make sense. We just ran through a lot of what battle rap was, and it kind of just it shifted the dynamic of battle rap a lot. So I would say NWX, man, the NWX era, especially when it was just getting started. Not the Hitman conceded one, like. This, you know.
No, Hitman was never NWX.
I remember y'all jumped on stage at one point. Remember, it was a situation where you conceded, y'all jumped on stage. You don't remember? It was like...
Shit, I don't know. It probably was like the real NWO. It
was like,
at
that
some
was,
point,
you know
you
what
start
I'm saying?
forgetting the numbers. But
Yeah, man, it was like, I would definitely say that our NWX, like, that era, it definitely, like, that was a special time in battle rap. You know what I mean?
I could agree with that to a certain extent, just because of, you know what I mean, Smack. A lot of people don't know this. This is on off record, but on record, people don't know. Smack laughed at the thought of doing the 2-on-2. He thought it was hilarious. Like, what are y'all gonna do? Like a Broadway play? Like, what do y'all think this is? And I said, I looked him dead in the face. I said, in 3 months, you're gonna be begging for this. Beasley jacked it. One thing I give Beasley, he's old, but he's on top of things. He's like, no, DNA's on to something. 3 months later,
I like the 2-on-2
blowing up
DNA.
my line for Chess and
That
Steve.
2-on-2.
I mean, so that's just one of the things that NWX stamped. I feel like it was groups before, just like it was groups before in wrestling. But when NWX came, everybody got grabbed the 2-on-2 partner. Everybody wanted to be in the group.
Think
So
about
it's
how
like,
that shifted everything, because without y'all introducing the 2-on-2s to the Smack stage, we wouldn't have gun titles and what that
gun
was.
titles
And,
don't
like,
exist.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
Like,
Monstars don't exist. Like, it's none of these teams exist without us doing it. So you saying that is like me, I would say that's a part of the Attitude Era in battle rap. It's like in battle rap for me, it's not chronologically. It's not in chronological order,
Right.
because that's a piece. But then I also feel like when you get Conceited, Hitman, Averb, Mav,
That's
Cortez, Hollow the Don, all those times when we came in, that was my time of like this is Attitude Era, because that was like The Rock, Stone Cold, all these new stars emerge.
Right.
So it's like I feel like in battle rap, it's different parts that we have to put together to create it, because it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like
But
smoothly.
you guys don't think you could give it a timeline, like from this year to this year? Because that's what I was going to ask you. Like,
Nah, because NWX doesn't get there until 2015, and what I'm talking about is 09.
No, but I'm asking. In the
All right,
sense,
yeah,
like,
you know,
if you had to
yeah.
chronologize.
All right, so if I had to put it in chronological
I
order,
mean,
Yeah, right.
era is about like what 5-6 years, 5-6
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
so
Roughly from your time to that
so
time.
2009 until 2017.
Okay.
Probably
3 years also.
Yeah, 2009,
That's the Attitude Era
2017.
battle rap.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we came in for a certain reason.
We did.
Well, I think that point was good because NWX was really deprived of the name came from two groups, which are what we
That's what we
Yeah,
segued
what we're
into.
talking
Let's
about.
let's get into that. NWX.
Beautiful segue.
Yes,
Right,
I like
exactly.
that. I like that. He's thinking.
I'm here. I'm here
Beautiful
today.
segue.
NWX was created from watching wrestling. As a child, when I'm watching wrestling, the two most powerful groups are NWO and DX. They stand for taking over, breaking the rules, doing anything to excel the bar and push things forward. That's where you get the NW from, and the X comes from both. So when Conceited and me created the group, that was the inspiration. Like, how do we create a group that follows like kind of the same timeline from DX and NWO, and how do we get there? Now getting into that, what you gonna say?
Oh no, he just
hardcore,
said
yeah.
Shawn Michaels and Triple
Now,
H.
segueing into that is why we get here on why this gentleman has on an NWO Wolfpack jersey. But we're not going to credit that, because if we use that group, this conversation is done. But that's just a representation. And why I have on, you know what I mean, the infamous green and black DX, because the name of this episode is DX versus NWO, which group was better? These two over there is NWO with DX. Since you a guest and you in our house, you know what I mean, we'll let you take the floor first why you feel like NWO was better than D-Generation X.
We're going to start off real light to build up.
Okay.
Because we don't want to give everything out the, you know what I mean, out the gate.
Okay.
Long story short, you don't have DX. You don't have DX without NWO. These are facts. Like, if you want to talk on a rating standpoint, WWE needed to do something to combat outsiders coming to WCW. Hulk Hogan becoming a heel for the first time ever. Without that, there's no pressure on WWE to create DX.
That's your argument?
We starting off light.
Okay.
Round one.
Very.
light.
Because my counter, you can chime in whenever you want. My counter to that is, who is the head of the clique? Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was the head of the clique.
What makes you think that there's a head to even begin with?
Okay, Shawn Michaels was the biggest wrestler.
No,
at the
Shawn
time.
Michaels was definitely.
No,
head
are we
of the
serious?
clique.
As
Shawn
time went
Michaels
on,
was the one who could speak to Vince McMahon in the back and
make
get things to
everything
happen.
All right, as time
But
went
that-
on, as time went on, Triple H became the head of the clique. As time went on, but when we're talking about the beginning, when this whole journey starts of them forming together, Shawn Michaels had the most pull. He was the first megastar out of the group.
So y'all don't think that Kevin Nash and Scott Hall left and got bigger checks?
But watch this
Then,
though.
I'm just trying to figure out
Go
who's
ahead,
the head.
Go ahead. Shawn Michaels was the head of the clique, in my opinion. And,
keywords in your opinion.
No, but period though. We can go facts too.
Oh, facts. So you think any of them would be like, yeah, Shawn Michaels was the head?
Shawn Michaels used to speak
So
for
they
them.
were- in the DX book, Triple H says when he first got into the company, he was pointed towards Shawn Michaels, and
Shawn
he was
Michaels
told,
called
"This
the
is the
shot.
person you want." Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me just say this real quick. We understand that the clique was not something that was like publicly pushed to either entity, right? This is something that was done behind the scenes, right?
Right.
So does that really matter towards the argument of
It
DX?
does, because then it got broadcast to the forefront with the curtain call when they go in front of the ring in the steel cage. And what I'm saying is WWE set the tone for there to be a WCW and an NWO by Vince McMahon release. It all stems from WWE.
Okay, no, check it out.
This is not homegrown talent.
No. What I'm saying to you is, we understand that the clique is comprised of those 4 main
individuals.
Obviously, you want to add X-Pac.
He's going to go X-Pac.
You
He's
can add
the
that.
only one in both.
Because he's a part of both. Well,
Fire.
technically,
Shawn Michaels.
Well, Shawn Michaels was also.
So what I'm saying is,
You're available?
what I'm saying
He's
to you
here.
is-
He's here.
What I'm saying to you is, in regards to like basic wrestling knowledge, right? The clique itself doesn't hold as much weight in regards to what was presented to the public in regards to WWF and
Facts.
WCW.
Facts.
The clique we understand because we're wrestling fans.
Okay.
But in the
can
grand
agree
scheme
with
of the
that.
argument, it kind of canceled each other out. Who was the leader? Because at the end of the day, it's about what was presented on those Monday Night Wars, and that was NWO versus DX. So in that argument, that cancels out who was leader of the clique. It doesn't matter.
That's a fact.
All right.
Because who was?
All right, so no, look. I agree with that. I also can agree.
Hit him with it.
I also can agree.
I want to say too much.
Super.
What we doing?
Super.
So
want to say too much.
I can agree with you in the sense of you saying there would be no D-Generation X without NWO. We could take that because NWO was created first, then it was DX. But let's talk about through the longevity of what group lasted and looked better as the years went on. That's D-Generation X hands down.
Oh, so that's the question.
No,
Oh,
when we're
you
talking
see, 'cause I
about
thought
better,
who's better, 'cause now you're saying
better
that.
is not at a starting point. Better is in the grand scheme of things overall. Somebody could take off on a 40-meter dash and be up by a lot and still lose the race. So yes, NWO took off tremendously, but who lost Monday Night Wars at the end of the day?
You know
What is
I knew he
more
was gonna bring that
iconic
up.
than DX pulling up
I
to
didn't-
WCW
In
the
a tank,
truck
in a tank.
saying, "Are you available?"
Please.
Are you available?
That's facts.
All right,
That's
so
facts.
let's just say this. Like, you can't compare ratings because at the end of the day, we have bad creatives at the end of the WCW era.
Fact.
Shout out Vince Russo. Vince
You
Russo
know
was
what
on
I'm saying?
WWE. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was bad creatives. You can't control the narrative of a clique or a team or a faction to bad writing for that show. We can't do that. You can't. You can't say WWE was better than WCW. You can have that argument. You can have that argument of WWE lasted longer than WCW. But we're talking about the legitimacy of said faction. We're talking about the faction. We don't care about the rating of the show.
Let me answer this.
Hold
Hold on.
on.
Let me
Tag
answer this.
team,
Let
tag
me-
team,
yeah,
tag
let me
tag
answer
them
this.
in. They need it. They need it.
So
They need it.
no. But if we to even further elaborate, think about the impact, the literal impact that NWO has had on the world. You said it yourself, right? I know the combination of NWX comes from, NWO and D-Generation X, but in NWX, there are more NWO letters in there.
It is more NWO. It is more NWO than DX. Admit it right now on this camera.
It is.
It's
It's
more
more
NWO.
only the X.
It's
I
more
like that.
NWO
I
than
like that.
DX.
I was slick.
Come on.
But listen.
Come on, man.
But listen
Come
though.
on,
But
baby.
listen though. What I counter to what Saga said when he's talking about writing, let's remember at the time, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall had so much pull in WCW, they were part of the writers. They were creating their own
Kevin Nash
stories
was.
because
Kevin Nash was.
because
Kevin Nash
because
was.
Kevin Nash was
Now
because
Scott Hall.
Eric Bischoff.
Hogan
Eric Bischoff was allowing them to do whatever it took to take it to the next level. So those ideas stem from, some of them stem from them. But overall, what I'm saying is if we look at a long list, right? NWO, its greatest years is 96 through 98. The moment that the Wolfpack is intertwined, and then we have NWO 2000, and then Bret Hart is NWO, and then Dennis Rodman is NWO, and then Dean Malenko is NWO. It's confusing.
Facts.
And then,
Hold on.
and
Facts.
then,
Hold on.
and then when NWO crosses over to WWE, and it only lasts for a stint of 3 months due to injuries and bad storylines and not knowing what to do, we would have to say the fall off of NWO is way harder than D-Generation
But
X,
that has
who
to be
lasted
taken.
way longer.
That has to be taken into account. NWO's fall off kind of made their whole
Their takeoff
legacy
is as big as their fall.
softer. DX could return. They recently returned, and it was still a
Still
huge.
impactful.
So,
And DX
I would like- I would like-
had several branch offs that were better than NWO's branches.
I want to just be able to get to everything y'all was saying
Okay,
real
let's
quick.
go.
'Cause it was a lot being
Yeah,
said.
okay,
It was a
let's
lot.
go.
It was a lot.
Definitely.
It was a lot being said just now. when you mention NWO's fall off and you mention the branch off to the Wolfpack, I need you to remember that this also introduced a new level of sting, right? We can't forget Sting in the situation. One of the most impactful wrestlers of all time, right? Mind you, not only was the impact of NWO influential to DX and WWE, it was influential to the likes of Sting, because without NWO, you wouldn't need the Crow Sting, right? Eventually joins NWO. Wolfpack. Cool. Give you that. We also have to remember, by show of hands in NWO, how many people can say they have pay-per-views that were successfully ran named after them? NWO
DX had those too.
DX had what?
They had it In Your House named after them.
They had one.
Relax.
Okay, cool.
Relax. Checkmate.
But we're talking about successful. All right, you know what? All right, let's do it like this then. How many of the groups here can raise their hand for successful video games? Not only one of the most successful video games, like
Right.
Can I?
WCW NWO Revenge is one of the greatest games
Fire,
in
Nintendo
wrestling
64.
history.
But that goes to my point of saying the impact. You know,
Impact.
I'll admit this. Because I'm not a funny guy. DX, as far as their representation, is overall way better than NWO.
I can understand.
You know, when once it got the B team, like it was
There was no real B team.
NWO 2000.
when they had Brian, I think it was Brian Adams and all of them. And Virgil.
There was
insane.
No, I'm saying
BWO,
there was
do you
no
remember that?
real B team to DX.
It was LWO. Are you kidding
There
me?
was
No,
LWO.
I'm saying the DX. I said DX.
No, yeah,
There was no
DX.
B team to DX.
I'm saying DX.
DX.
No, and it was different for it's DX the corporation
Oh, but
version. It was DX.
There was no corporation version.
Yes,
There
it
was
was.
just Shawn Michaels as the corporation.
No, you're missing it. No, they were with the corporation as well. When Triple H
They
got with
worked
the
with them, but they wasn't.
and they were
with
DX.
them.
They were DX.
It wasn't DX Corporation.
No, it
Like,
wasn't
it
titled
DX
that, but it was
Corporation.
under the umbrella of that. They were working with
When
the
there was a
company.
change in the
Remember
NWO, when there was a change in the NWO, you noticed because the colors changed, the vibes changed. That's what we were introduced to. The
All right, so
Wolfpack.
let's check this out, right?
Hold on.
Let's check
I'm
this
about to
out.
kill you real quick. Let me
Okay.
kill you real quick. So, as we talking about this, who's better, right? One person that could vouch for who's better is a former manager that started out with y'all and then ended up with us. You know what I'm talking
No.
about?
Rick Rude.
God bless the. You know what I'm saying? God bless the
Okay.
soul. Yeah.
But
Ravishing.
watch
Uncle
this.
Ravish.
Yeah, but
Uncle
a whole
Uncle
bunch
Ravish.
of people
Uncle Ravish
ended
knows
up on
something.
Uncle
NWO.
Ravish.
It's safe.
A whole
it's-
bunch of
rest in
people
peace,
ended up on
Rudy.
NWO.
It's safe to say. How about this,
He was
right?
available.
It's safe to say. It's safe to say the first version of NWO may have been better than the first version of DX. Correct? Y'all
Say
will
it
go with
one
that?
more time for
The
me.
first version
So
of
the 3
NWO.
versus the 2. Absolutely.
Yeah, with
Well,
Rick
in
Rude in
China.
China. You think
Oh, yeah.
that version of NWO is better, but the second version of DX is better than the second version of the Wolfpack.
Oh, 100%.
That
100%.
understand?
all right. Listen, right now,
Why
I
you doing
will
that?
put
I
the
wanna
DX
ask.
with Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, China, X-Pac, and Triple H against the best version of NWO. You can
100%.
find. They're more entertaining. They cut better promos. They even wrestled better. What are we talking about?
100%. Promo game was
game is
who was
unmatched.
selling more?
unmatched.
Ladies and
unmatched.
gentlemen, boys and
We can't
girls,
even
children
talk
of
about
all
that.
ages.
It's hard to say who's selling
Hold
more
on.
because I'm gonna say
I'm gonna
this
take my
as,
time. I
as
feel like they gotta argue stats. They gotta
Boys and girls,
like-
ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages.
Let me say something real quick.
What are we doing?
Are we talking? Okay, the original.
Let's get
we
ready to
can-
suck it. What are we doing?
No, I'll give you that.
What we doing,
the
ladies and
the
gentlemen?
promo on DX side,
Immaculate.
incredible, right? I just want to say this real quick. We obviously understand the original NWO surpasses the original DX.
But how long does the original...
Okay, now you want to step into the what you call it, the B team,
Brother.
Would you want to call it the B team?
Yeah.
Is that when we were introduced to Sting? Is that when we were introduced to Lex Luger? Is that when
That's still not better than...
Are you talking
Not
about
even
the
close.
legendary
Not even
Sting
close.
is not better than X-Pac,
That's
Road
not
Dogg,
better than
and
Road-
Billy Gunn?
Bro, in terms of
Sting
entertainment, no,
himself
it wasn't.
in black and red is not better than Billy Gunn.
I'm going to give you two things about the Wolfpack that I like.
Sting?
The music and the colors. The things that were happening
Conan.
in terms of creative. All right,
Like, yo,
first
you
of all,
could put Conan against Road Dogg.
he's
You could
getting
put
packed up.
And then
I
on
love
top of that,
Conan,
hold
but
on.
he's getting
You
passed
can't even
up.
add X-Pac because X-Pac was on both teams. Cancel him out.
No, you
got
can't cancel
Rosa.
him out.
Yes,
It was
you can.
checkmate. All right,
X-Pac
I'll
was
tell
way
you-
bigger on
Peep
DX.
Peep the
though.
storyline.
We had 6.
Peep the storyline.
We had 6.
Peep the storyline.
But that's not compared to what he
Peep the
did out
We
here.
had
storyline. though.
6.
This is what people not
Nah,
peeping.
I ain't gonna lie, I love
WrestleMania
you,
happened.
I can't jack 6
WrestleMania
so I can
happens,
jack
right? Let's
X-Pac.
get to
Wait,
this.
listen.
It's the same person.
Listen.
His impact in DX was
It's
I need
way bigger
availability.
than
Because he was
six.
I need
introduced
availability.
in that.
WrestleMania happens. First of all, the whole promotion of Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold with Iron Mike Tyson being the enforcer and then switching from DX to Rock with Stone Cold is like what are we like? This is what we talking about. The next night, Triple H comes on Raw and says, Shawn Michaels dropped the ball. But I have something that's going to make everybody happy. I have just what we need to take DX to the next level. And X-Pac comes live on screen and lets Eric Bischoff and WCW know, good night. I'm back home on WWF and I'm throwing up this. That's checkmate.
Let's
We
also
just took one of your people and said,
That was originally.
checkmate.
Also, don't forget, a lot of years later, Mike Tyson came back and did the same thing, except this time, whose side was he taking? D-Generation X. Remember, he came back as a Raw guest host when they had that whole thing, did the same thing with the ripping off the shirt, but this time it was a DX shirt. So after all that time, he was still down with D-Generation X anyway.
Can I ask you a question? It's a free country. Anybody? shout outs to Hardcore in the building. Anybody in DX ever defeat an undefeated wrestler?
Shawn Michaels is Mr. WrestleMania.
No, hold on.
Shawn Michaels is Mr.
Hold on.
WrestleMania.
Answer the question. Listen to the question.
Do you guys know any DX members that have defeated any undefeated wrestlers?
Hold on. You talking about
You
Kevin
talking about
Nash
Kevin
when
Nash
he
and
wrote that in the
Goldberg?
script?
Oh, come on.
You mean with
We're not
Kevin Nash?
talking about the
You mean with
script.
Kevin
They
Nash?
tased Goldberg. They tased
not even
Goldberg.
Not even that though.
I
Not
just
that
asked y'all a
Eric
question.
Bischoff.
Hold on a
a
second. Hold on, because I got it right here.
Wrote
I
it
got
in.
right here.
Wrote it in.
I
Hold
love
on.
Kevin Nash.
The same way.
That's fire. I would do the same thing.
Come on, guys. Let's be completely honest here. Wrestling is scripted, right? It's not like this is understandable. Everybody understands who's winning, right? Now, like, answer the question. Now, we're talking about somebody who's undefeated, right? Both Triple
we're
H.
talking about
Hold on,
Goldberg.
no, we're not
Good
talking about
night.
Brock Lesnar. God bless you, brother.
Good
God bless
night.
you. God bless
bless
you.
you, Sean.
May the
Hold me in the
Lord,
back.
may the Lord
Good
be
night.
with
Hold
you. May the Lord be with you.
That's what I meant.
We're talking
Please be
about.
with him, Lord.
We're talking about when Goldberg's undefeated streak was ruined by the NWO, right? Both Triple H and Shawn Michaels, I think Shawn Michaels twice had a chance at Undertaker at WrestleMania, different occasions. Why didn't
That's not
it
the
happen?
same.
We're talking about
not the
no.
same.
We're talking no.
Look,
We're
he's
talking.
pulling
Hold on.
anything.
Yeah, he's pulling anything.
Hold on.
pulling
No.
anything now.
No.
Let's talk.
To add on to like we're talking about memorable moments in wrestling. Goldberg's streak is definitely one of those moments. Undertaker's WrestleMania streak is definitely one of those moments. Both gentlemen, the leaders of said crew that you are wearing right now, lost.
I'd rather watch the matches that Triple H and Shawn had with Undertaker and never watch that Goldberg and Kevin Nash match ever again than watch that. But the quality of the matches is
Hearsay.
completely
Hold on.
different.
I got one
Hearsay.
better.
My brother.
I got one
Kevin
better.
Nash
When
never-
Shawn
We're talking about the
Michaels,
consensus
when
shit.
Shawn Michaels fought Undertaker twice, and when Triple H did it, guess what? Guess what? Everybody's not paying attention to. They were not D-Generation X at the time. Good night.
Good night.
They
And
were
also-
solo wrestlers.
also
so
Shawn-
we're talking about the top.
Shawn versus
Don't do that.
Undertaker at WrestleMania
Script.
25 is the best
That
match
wasn't part of
ever.
the script.
Don't do that.
That wasn't part of the script.
Shawn Michaels
They were
versus
not
Undertaker.
DX.
Yo, listen. It was DX and it was DX for life, right? Just like I was NWO for life.
No,
They
it
all
was
represent-
NWO for life, brother. It wasn't nothing
Well,
about
wait.
DX for
Now,
life.
since we're on the topic of big matches and everything, let's take this to when the eventual clash of DX and NWO happened, right?
Okay.
It was the clash of the Monday Night Wars.
Right.
Sting versus Triple H. NWO comes out. DX comes out.
You're talking about WrestleMania.
Wait, Warren.
WrestleMania.
Warren, did NWO win that match?
As far as I'm
He
concerned,
know.
Sting
He
came
know.
out as Sting.
No, whoa, but NWO.
WrestleMania.
Look, see, they say anything.
Hold on,
hold on, let me
Got
finish.
This was a
Listen,
real
listen.
version of Sting, but yeah.
You're talking about the WrestleMania, Triple H versus Sting. Obviously, writing, right? You want to talk about writing for Kevin Nash and Goldberg's streak, right? Writing wise, who do you think would win? who do you think would win?
The winner.
Hold on, no. Who do you think would win in the grand scheme of it? Right. This symbolized WWE versus WCW. You had NWO and DX come out. Who do you think, as the leading competitor in wrestling, who do you think they would want to write to be on top? WWE. When everybody in their right mind knows that Sting deserved that wing. Do you believe that?
Sting wasn't even.
You don't believe Sting?
You know why I didn't like that?
I'm
They won the ratings. They won the Monday Night War.
I'm gonna pray for you after the podcast. I'm gonna pray for you, bro. That's not it. That's not it.
Listen.
Hold
What I didn't like is that Sting was never black and white NWO.
He was black and white at one point.
When?
Yeah, he was. He started off black and white, then went to red and black.
That was the koi.
God bless you, sweetheart.
It was the koi. It was the koi.
No. He
Black
was that, but then he broke into the black and red and became more personality-wise. Like, he was very, like...
Nah, D, you right, DNA. Because that was his shit.
Brother, hey, brother, you thought we talking about a whole nother event another time ago. I don't know what you're talking about. He was black and white first.
No, he was black and white as in colors. I don't remember him being black and white NWO.
He was black and white NWO.
Look this up immediately.
He was black
It
and
was
white.
super brief.
I remember he popped out when they were waiting for him to make a decision.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And he
It was
first showed that he was black and white with the shirt,
I know
and
that.
then he ripped it.
I know that.
I don't remember him being black and white NWO. And if that's the case, that means they're just doing anything.
I got a
He should
question.
have
Hold
red face
on.
paint.
Okay.
Hold on. Now, as entities,
Sting shocks the world when he chooses to join NWO Wolfpack, which is the red one, over NWO Hollywood,
guess
which
what?
is the black.
You know what? Hold on.
Google.
At the end of the day.
Oh, this is WWE.com. This is
Hold on.
WWE.com.
Hold
Do
on.
your Googles.
Hold on. At the end of the day. Hold on. At the end of the
available.
day.
Shout out to Rain. Do your Googles.
Hold on. At the end of the day, it's still a win-win for NWO because I'm wearing. Praise God. Chalk line. Holla at me.
Facts.
So listen.
Fire.
At the end of the day, At the end of the day, let's use matches with NWO affiliation to it, right? We have one of the greatest matches of all time in WWE
I know you about to go with this.
under the black and the white. Ladies and gentlemen, Hulk Hogan versus The Rock. Hulk Hogan was Hollywood Hulk Hogan, NWO, black and white, Thunder on the tights. One of the greatest matches in your entity.
And I'm glad you said that, brother, because I wanted to add this. I had a question for them, for Team DX. So, in your honest opinion, any of y'all DX members more iconic than Hulk Hogan?
I think, in my opinion.
No, we're not talking about your opinion, brother. We're talking about the consensus.
Look, I'm telling you,
He went crazy on the right.
Shawn Michaels is
He
arguably.
got a Rock promo. I'm not
Shawn
talking about your opinion. I'm talking about the consensus.
I'm actually.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Shawn Michaels is arguably the greatest wrestler of all time.
Yes, he is.
The greatest of all time.
Yes.
I'm asking if
The greatest
y'all
of all
believe-
time.
y'all-
Is.
So you believe that over Hulk Hogan for real? Like
You don't believe that in your spirit.
You believe that?
You don't
All
believe
right,
that.
watch
You don't-
this.
You
Not
don't
for
believe
real.
that. You don't
Watch
believe
this,
that
watch
in
this,
spirit.
watch this.
don't
Out of
believe that
all
in
those
spirit.
wrestlers that's there, the biggest wrestler in this whole conversation that we having is definitely Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, for sure.
But
no
we'll
question.
do this.
Okay.
This is my counter to you guys. You'll answer this, and then we're gonna have closing arguments and let the people in the comments decide who they going with.
Right.
Team DX,
Right.
Team NWO, which group was better. My last question that I have for you: titles. New Age Outlaws was a better tag team than any tandem you can put together in NWO.
So they better than
Triple-
outsiders? That's how you feel?
Yes. Yes,
Yo,
the New
they
Age
really
Outlaws
feel-
is better than the Outsiders as a tag team.
Let them know who the new lady.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels is a better tag team than the Outsiders. Triple H is a better world champion
agree.
than
I
anybody
agree.
in
I agree.
NWO. Shawn
Hold
Michaels
Hold
is a
on,
better
hold on,
champion
hold
in
on, hold
NWO.
on.
Yep.
Hold on.
And that's pop water, that's Intercontinental,
Hold
and that
on,
European
hold on, guys.
crowd.
Hold on, guys.
I heard you.
God
I
bless
heard
Scott
you.
Hall. God bless
Hold on,
Scott
guys.
Hall.
God bless.
Oh,
God,
hold on.
man.
And before you get to that, but I feel like a wrestler right now. Shawn Michaels was a Grand Slam champion.
I hear that. Cool.
I don't think
How many
nobody
belts
else
was-
over there can.
how
Did
many-
Hulk Hogan have
no,
that?
No, we're talking. No. Let's hold on. Let's add context. Hold on. God bless.
hold on.
Hold on.
Question.
God
Bring
bless.
it back to
Let's add context to this. If you want to add context to certain matches, let's add context to how many belts that Shawn Michaels won during his DX tenure.
Yeah, I like that. Yep.
How many belts did he win holding up that X high in the
He
sky?
was a Grand Slam champion. Then.
Doesn't matter. No, we're talking about accolades overall. We're
No,
talking
he
about
became
during.
a Grand Slam champion Why he was with
He's right with that because
they
he
had
was
all
Intercontinental.
4 belts.
But what I'm
They were the
saying-
tag team champions. First, he had the European
title, yeah.
championship. Then after that, he had the
When it was
He was Intercontinental with
when it
DX?
was
Yeah, he was
when
DX.
it
was Triple H.
He was
Yeah.
Intercontinental with DX?
No, he was European.
He
with
was
DX.
European with DX.
Then after that, he became the world champion. Then they became the tag team champions.
Yeah.
And then they threw a match with him and Triple H for the European. And he did the infamous, Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan stole that after. The infamous lay down and let you do the pin. Yeah, Triple H and Shawn Michaels
But who
did that
did it
first.
better?
Good night.
He made it a
DX.
DX.
Does he?
DX did it
Yeah,
better.
Triple H and Shawn
Which
Michaels
one-
did that first.
Which one is more
I'm
memorable?
gonna be honest.
What I'm saying- hold on,
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
be
saying
honest.
is-
NWO started it, but DX did it better. If we're talking for real,
Bro,
the
nobody
ultimate,
remembered that. I just forgot.
No,
I think
no,
DX
no.
did it first.
In general, I'm
First
saying
and
the
foremost.
being
Hold on, I guess
rebels,
he's trying to speak. I
the
guess he's
being.
trying to speak.
Go ahead, Saga.
First and foremost, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. For real. Let me just say this real quick.
That's facts.
In the grand scheme of it, I understand certain belts were won as Shawn Michaels and then and DX. But what I'm trying to say is, how many of those belts fit the criteria of Grand Slam in the DX tenure, bro? That's what I'm asking.
Okay, 3 of them.
Is that the Grand Slam?
3 to 4.
No.
3 out of 4 don't seem like
No, because I think you had to get the Intercontinental too to
You
be
did.
considered.
But did he-
Grand Slam.
It's
Look
not.
that up.
It
Did he
don't
get the
seem.
Intercontinental
Hold
and
on.
DX?
Hold
Yeah.
on. Hey, listen. It don't seem very Grand Slammy to me, ladies and gentlemen. It don't seem very Grand Slammy
All right, I
to
got
me if it's
one
not
more-
all
I
done
got
within
one more-
that
I got
time.
one more thing before we spin.
Oh, by the way, Triple H is also a Grand Slam champion.
Oh, it's good
Both
night.
of them are
It's
Grand
good
Slam
night.
champions.
It's good
Hold on.
night.
Both of
Are
them
you-
are
hold
Grand
on,
Slam
hold on,
champions.
hold on,
Two of
hold
the
on.
greatest
Hold
ever
on.
in
Hold on.
WWE.
Point. They're
Hold
skipping
on.
the point.
Card full.
Hold
You
on.
hear me, homie?
You guys aren't understanding.
past
Card-
Royal
You're not
Rumble.
understanding what we're saying during
Yo,
the
hold on.
DX tenure.
Listen. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
get them
word.
to understand.
Yeah, get them
like, I understand the accolades. Kudos to those gentlemen.
Salute.
Legends within this culture. What I'm asking is, how many of those belts were won in the DX tenure? That means when that means when they walked out, they had the green glow sticks, the army camouflage DX hats, the armbands, the wristbands, even the headbands for your children. I'm asking how many belts were won wearing that merch to the ring?
Well, if
Doesn't
Shawn
matter.
Michaels didn't win all of them when he
Then you
was
can't-
DX, then Triple H did. Because we got 2 Grand Slam champions.
Hold on a second, hold
not
on.
first
No, we
base,
can't- we
not
can't do
second
that.
base, not third base,
Hold
not
on a
home
second.
plate. We did it
Hold
twice.
on a second. So
Give
if
me
I
my
get
2 points.
so if we both take a test as a group, right? And if I get some answers wrong and you get those same answers right, it counts for both of us? No.
Yes.
You just got them right.
Yes.
You got them right.
I'm not sure if Shawn Michaels did that, but he is. That's the accolade we're going to win.
God bless you. Listen.
Now watch this.
Listen.
Now my ending note
what I'm
before
trying
I
to
give
say,
everybody their closing statement.
you're trying to blank it over.
Go ahead.
Listen, you don't got the answer, Sway.
I hear you. Homie.
You're over here talking about Grand Slam. Great for accolades overall for their wrestling history. We're
You
talking
gotta stop hitting the
about.
table, homie.
We're talking
It's gonna mess up the aesthetic.
about. We're talking about NWO and DX and what was done in those moments in time, whether it was brought back or was originally brought it to the forefront. They haven't won. There aren't Grand Slam
No,
champions
brother.
within that time.
No, brother.
Triple H might be.
Yes. Triple H.
In DX.
Yes.
Triple
but it wasn't
H
the
might
time.
be.
Might
All right, when it was the
Go
fight
now.
with them, with the Road Dogg and all them, he was, remember, because he had that power trip moment too with
Stone Cold. That's not DX. That's not DX.
DX was still around then.
That Power Trip is not DX.
No, but I'm saying, even though it's
Power Trip is not DX.
No, I know Power Trip.
You got us
isn't
looking bad out here.
No, I'm not. I'm
You
just
got
trying
us
to-
looking bad
I'm just
out
trying
here.
to be fair, brother. What
Power
I'm saying,
Trip. I want the fans to recognize this.
Okay.
Power Trip is not DX.
No, but I'm saying he was still in DX when that whole vibe occurred.
No, I don't think so.
Nah,
He
you
was
sure?
the game already. He was the game.
He was
May
the
the
game.
Lord
Time to play the game
bless you.
May the Lord bless me.
May the
May
Lord bless you.
All right, so this is my last thing, right? In my
I got a
fight-
closing too. I got a
Yeah,
closing
and
too.
we're gonna give our closing statements. Y'all give y'all closing, and it's up to the viewers at home watching. Comment below who do you agree with, Team DX or Team NWO. Phones are ringing. Good night, hardcore.
Good night.
Good
May the
night.
Lord bless you.
Good night. Who is that? Good
May
night.
the Lord
Let
bless
them
you.
know
All right,
we're
in
not
my closing
available.
argument. In my closing
He's not
argument,
available.
He's not
in my,
He's not
in my
available.
closing argument, Shawn Michaels was NWO and he was DX. He looked better as DX. X-Pac was NWO and DX. X-Pac looked better by
as
being DX. At the end of the day, NWO started off way stronger than DX, but they finished horribly. DX started after NWO, picked up steam, took the ball, and ran with it for the rest of the tenure when it comes to the greatest factions because they ended off better. So D-Generation X, in my opinion, is overall the better group because it's not about how you start, it's about how you start and how you finish, and they finished a lot better than NWO did. NWO started like this and ended here. NWO Wolfpack, good night. NWO B-Team, good night. LWO, BWO, AWO, ZWO, RWO, good night. Okay, D-Generation X with Rick Rude in China. D-Generation X with Rick Rude in China. Holla if you hear me. D-Generation X with New Age Outlaws and X-Pac. Holla if you hear me. D-Generation X when they added Stephanie McMahon when she was here. Holla if you hear me. When they left and they came back, D-Generation X with Shawn Michaels and just Triple H. Holla if you hear me. D-Generation X is the better group. Two legendary groups. I take nothing away from Hollywood Hogan, brother. But we're going with DX.
Facts. Closing arguments. I think both are super iconic, super impactful groups.
Thank you.
I think that NWO started the whole rebel thing, and DX kind of perfected it. They made it great, and if you could see that in the results. The Monday Night Wars was
Promos
won by
better.
Promos definitely better. The Monday Night Wars was won by DX in the eventual, Sting versus Triple H, which was like the real match culmination of that rivalry. DX won. I think DX really stood the test of time. Like you said, like today, they just recently came back and still had a great match. So I'm going to have to go with DX. DX overall.
And we got two words for you. Good night.
Now, listen, NWO, you know the vibes. First of all, it's 2022. Nobody's saying suck it. Nobody's doing any of that. That's in the time. NWO is timeless. You, my dear brother DNA, he had a group called NWX, but the NW is a part of the NWO. So this ultimately proves why NWO is better than DX, and not for anything else, but also because Hulk Hogan is one of the biggest wrestling stars ever, and nobody in DX could see the legacy of Hulk Hogan, both as one of the greatest baby faces and one of the greatest heels ever. Moments always memorable. So NWO, you know the vibes.
Let me. May the Lord bless you. Let me just make this point. A lot was said. I try to just make sure I made sticky notes for everything that was said. One, we're gonna cancel out the idea of Monday Night Wars because we're talking about overall brands other than factions. You know what I mean? That also includes other superstars and or matches. We can't include Monday Night Wars. Two, you mentioned WrestleMania with Sting and Hunter Hearst Helmsley, a.k.a. Triple H. Obviously, the longer-lasting entity, which is WWE, would write that they triumph over their competitor. That's expected. You would waste the debut of Sting on this platform to lose. It's mind-blowing to me. Doesn't really match up to me. You said a few things. I just want to add on to the fact that, one, like I said before, without NWO, there was no pressure on WWE to create DX. Two, there are products of NWO that last to this day. Did you know that Scott Hall created Sting? Did you know that Scott Hall created Crow Sting? Did you know that?
Yes, I seen that on a documentary. Rest in peace,
Beautiful,
Scott Hall.
right?
It's fire.
So not only do you have one of the first members, the founding members of the Outsiders, which birthed the idea of NWO, creating one of the most iconic entities in wrestling history, that same entity played a part in said group. Went to WWE in the same iconic Sting fashion that he was that started NWO. Like Sting wouldn't be who he is without the idea of NWO. DX wouldn't be what it is without the idea of NWO. And it just so happens two of the top stars at that time, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash at that time, you have the greatest babyface of all time, Hulk Hogan, put the pressure and create the greatest faction, leave for a while, go to your space, WWE. Hollywood Hulk Hogan has the greatest match again versus The Rock, the greatest match of all time under the black and white. May the Lord bless you. NWO is too sweet.
All right, so y'all write in the comments who you guys.
Yeah,
think is
I'm
the
confident with my argument. D-Generation X will
I
prevail.
think DX took that one.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment below, please. What group are you siding with, D-Generation X or NWO? We want to know. We need bragging rights. We need to know who y'all went with. On that note, this is one of my favorite segments
Absolutely.
that we're going to be doing on this show, and this is called... Give me a name. This is called What Wrestler Would You Be?
There you go.
So with that being said, Saga, you have had, I would want to say, a successful battle rap career. That in my opinion, really took off in 2014.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 2014 went 2022, 8 years. You know what I mean? Consecutive body of work. You know what I mean? A household name to many. Well respected by their peers. A lot of accolades on your list. If you could choose what wrestler you would be that you feel like mirrors your career, who would it be?
If I can pick a wrestler that that fits what I've been able to contribute to wrestling as I've done to battle rap, I would say Chris Jericho.
Why?
I say Chris Jericho, right? Because when you look at what he's contributed, and me, I'm a super fan of wrestling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've admired his work since New Japan Pro Wrestling, going to WCW, the debut, Y2J, Monday Night Raw.
She happens ain't gonna like this, but continue.
You know, you think about, listen, man, she happens. May the Lord bless you. You can get this right, man. I'm outside. I don't know if you know. But I'm outside.
We available.
You know what I mean? I think of what Chris Jericho offered to wrestling and how well he was able to rebrand and remarket himself to different eras and still remain a level of conversation, and how I was able to rebrand myself from just like young Christian kid to NWX Saga to the Four Horsemen Saga or even Sensei Saga. There was always a sense of conversation to be had around my name, whether good or bad. Like, there was always something there, and there was always a rebranding with every era that I played a part in. So I would say Chris Jericho because he rebranded himself amazingly and was still able to create a conversation around his name, whether it's the list Chris Jericho or the Y2J Arms Out Chris Jericho, or even now in his AEW tenure right now, the OG Chris Jericho.
Wizard.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's like how he's still able to put on quality matches. I'm still able to put on quality performances, and I think that's what best fits.
Shout out to Chris Jericho. I got a picture with Chris Jericho. It was at Del Frisco's 5 years ago.
Del Frisco.
I want to add on to that real quick,
took a picture.
just because that is actually my answer too. I was gonna say Chris Jericho.
Yeah, you don't say.
And also, I want to say when Chris Jericho first started in the time he was in, I think I could see the impact and a bunch of other like technical submission-based wrestlers hop out. And if you go to battle rap events, there's a bunch of Christian battle rappers now that wasn't even a thing when I had first started watching. So I think the impact is there and it's clear, and I think that can be traced back to Saga. So I just wanted to add that because I also agree. I think Chris Jericho was going to be my answer, and I think that's who you would be as a wrestler.
Okay. Warren, who you going with?
For Saga?
Yeah, who you think Saga is? Let's get into it.
That's love too, bro.
I'm not mad at the Chris Jericho. The way he broke it down, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If I had to
About
say
to be
somebody,
Cody Rhodes real soon. Keep playing.
If I had to, I like that. Yeah. Okay. If I had to say someone though, I probably would say Kurt Angle.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I would say Kurt Angle is because, see me, I'm not as tapped in with the battle rap scene like y'all. But one thing I could say for sure that I know about this brother, I ain't know about no quote unquote Christian battle rappers till
Right.
him.
Right.
You feel me? I feel like he kicked down, not kicked down a door, but kicked down hinges. You know, whether people want to give this man his flowers or not.
Absolutely.
And Kurt Angle, not for nothing, one of the more underrated personalities of a very successful time in WWF, WWE. Like, I feel like he's one of those guys that was very valuable, but maybe he wasn't a Rock or a Stone Cold, but shit, excuse my language, but you could put him in there. You could put him in there, and and on a certain day, depending on the day, he could get him too. Anybody, so.
For me, I was like, it's tough because you try to like.
This man, mind you, this is the footnote. This man has seen me since my second battle ever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He
Like,
took a shot
ever.
at me too.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, don't do it again.
You know what I mean? This man has seen me since my second battle ever. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be cliche, but it's like not only is Saga the person that's at the forefront of Christian battle rap, he's also you know, one of the, because it's a lot of Latino battle rappers, but one of the few, you know what I mean, he's mixed, but he's one of the few that has transcended, you know what I mean, to be one of the biggest names, putting on and vocally saying that in his battles. Like, you know what I mean, somebody can be from somewhere or be something, but they don't have to advertise it. Like, he's advertised both and put it on the forefront of, I'm a Christian battle rapper, this is what we can do. I'm also, you know what I mean, of Latino descent. This is, we're capable of doing that too. I'm gonna go with Rey Mysterio.
That was I was thinking that too. That was my second.
I'm gonna go with Rey Mysterio.
Man, yo, Z, you be thinking about a lot, man.
No, every answer.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every answer. I
He
mean,
said, I was thinking Chris Jericho too.
lies.
Rey Mysterio.
All lies.
I was saying Rey Mysterio was my second pick, bro.
I promise you, that's exactly where my brain was at next. Yo, but I say Rey Mysterio because I feel like Rey Mysterio, from a technical aspect of just technical wrestling, is appreciated by everyone that is in the WWE and WCW where he wrestled. But in terms of the fans and the culture, he's very underrated to me. I feel like Rey Mysterio doesn't get the respect he deserves, and when it's all said and done, when he's done, he's definitely Hall of Fame. And I feel like that with Saga, like a lot of people that are not a technical student of battle rap, because when you're watching battle rap, it's not too many people. If we Sue Surf, shout out to him, if we can intertwine this three ways: basketball, wrestling, and battle rap. If you compare the way the Spurs play basketball, only someone that studies the game of basketball can appreciate it. To the naked eye, it's boring. Right. You know what I mean? I even get that with my criticism. All battle rappers understand the techniques and the tools that I'm using when I'm putting this scheme together and correlating it with this movie and using breakdowns, but to the naked eye, it may not be appealing because it's not entertaining and gravitating. I feel like Saga's style of writing, his style of punching, you know what I mean, the pockets that he chooses, the mannerisms, is all technical. Like, you have to be a certain student of the game and appreciate art to understand that. And Rey Mysterio is a technical wrestler, very good one, a high flyer. He has the moves, like, and that's what I mean about Saga, because at the same time when he's technical, he also creates the moments. And I mean, Saga versus Ryder, the Eddie Guerrero joint, multiple battles, the Undertaker, the gloves different, the designer,
Rip off chest,
Snake is in danger. He always has those are like, for those I call those the high flyings off the top with the 619s.
Right.
So he has a bunch of those in his repertoire that makes everybody go, he has those moments. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, the way the storyline or the script may go, they're not just putting him there. But Rey Mysterio, at some point in his career, he was a world champion. I feel like before Saga's career ends, he will get to the place that he deserves to be, which, you know what I mean, in the sense of wrestling, is a world champion. Another Gnome, another Summer Madness, you know what I mean, a big plate with somebody that's there. And I feel like he's appreciated in the culture, like I said, by peers. And I feel like anybody that truly understands and loves wrestling to the T, there's no way you can't doubt Rey Mysterio is a legend, a pioneer for putting on for his country, being one of the smallest people, and, you know what I mean, dealing with the adversity of that, which would compare to the Christianity thing, because when people just hear a Christian battle rapper, it's like, what is he about to do? You know what I mean? When you see somebody that small going against a Batista or Undertaker, it's like, you know where your bet is placed. And then Rey Mysterio does what he does.
So let me ask you a question based off that comparison, right? Wrestling and battle rap wise, what do you think Rey Mysterio was missing in those moments that didn't take him to that that status? And also, obviously we're talking to a legend here. What do you feel I'm missing? You know what I mean? Like what was Rey missing?
Yeah. And then correlated with, me making a comparison. I feel like the only thing I can say, because I'm not in there when they're writing the script and how they plan to push, but I would say character. I would feel like Rey Mysterio is very good in the ring, but outside of that, we really didn't get that Stone Cold and Rock persona that just overwhelmed us. Like, oh my God, yeah, he's a star. Because as much as people appreciate the talent, as much as people even say this, we have leagues, WWE or our URL that will say, oh yes, it's about the talent. We can't book this guy because he choked, and we can't book this guy because he lost. But then we see people that lost and people that choke continue to get booked because it's not really about that. Everything is a business, which is entertainment. Even the fans, they pick and choose. Okay, this person choked and he's not as likable as this other person that choked, so we're going to continue to book that person. So I feel like it all comes down to character, and I feel like, I don't know if that's the character Rey Mysterio had to stick into, so he couldn't branch off to who he truly is. Or maybe that's not something he wanted to do, but I correlate that with you because I feel like that's something I feel like you've never brought to the forefront. Like, me knowing you personally, you're hilarious. Like, we sitting there before the camera comes on now, we laughing, we joking, we talking, and you have that persona and that character and that charisma to light up the room. But I feel like in my early career, that's something I was missing. When you look at DNA in his early years, there's no champ, there's no, the guy that is, really I want to say precise but still hilarious in face-offs. That guy's not he's not there. I'm just the nigga that shows up, excuse my language, the person that shows up and just executes in the battle. Now when you look at it, it's a whole thing it's a whole package that comes with it. It's memes, it's jokes, it's charisma and all that. And I feel like Saga has that, but that's just not something we see. Because as much as we put talent on the forefront, it also goes with the personality to align with it. And I feel like you have the personality. I don't think that's something that you lack. I just think that's something the battle rap community needs to see more.
He doesn't implement it enough.
Thank you, Hardcore.
God bless you.
Well, before we get to the final segment, I got a question that I gotta ask Saga because we're talking about wrestling and battle rap.
Absolutely.
Saga, you're known, or at least I've heard, to rock some pretty fire wrestling merch. So I gotta ask you specifically, wrestling merch. What makes it unique? What makes it just fire? And what made you want to use that as part of your kind of battle rap character?
Man, I know how much I love wrestling overall. I wanted to stick to something that was genuine to me. And I feel like at the same time, with how much I rap about wrestling, having something as physical representation, whether wearing a dope vintage shirt or even something more present like a current wrestler shirt, it creates conversation in the wrestling world because wrestlers watch battle rap.
Yes,
wrestlers,
they do. Samoa Joe.
Man, shouts to Austin Creed, a.k.a. Xavier Woods.
The Usos.
Swerve.
Shouts
The
to
Usos. Swervo.
word.
Montezzi.
Leo
Shouts
Rush.
to my dog Leo Rush.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Big Shotty Lee.
You know what I mean? We actually,
available.
Side note, me and Leo Rush got some fire music on the way.
Yes,
That's
I
a
do.
fact.
I heard
That's
that.
a fact.
Shout out to
Fire
Leo
music.
Rush.
Fire
We need all of them on the podcast, by the way. That's just it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like that all starts with one, introducing the idea, letting them know that I rock with them, throwing some bars here and there, and then showing it physically through shirts and merch that I like to wear. Like, these are shirts I would wear outside even if I wasn't battle rapping. And it helped to create a conversation of people who, one, enjoy wrestling, two, enjoy battle rap, and they can enjoy both. You know what I mean? Even if you're not a battle rap fan, if you watch wrestling and you hear somebody say a Eddie Guerrero line, you go crazy. You want to go watch that battler and see how much they're invested in that. And it's created a great relationship for me in regards to the wrestling world. So, yeah, just being authentic and being genuine to what I love already, and it made sense.
Is there a piece of, real quick off the top, is there a piece of wrestling merch you think just stands out and you're like, that is...
Man, current or vintage?
Both, yeah.
I would say there was a shirt I wore in a face-off of sorts I did with Twerk on Champion, and I wore this shirt that it was like a all-over screen print, and on the front it said...
That's the day you argued with me when I was
That's
the
a
champ with
fact.
the belt. You had the belt.
So on the front of it, it said Vince screwed Bret, and there's a picture of Bret Hart in the front. On the back of it, it was a picture of Vince, and on the back it said Brett screwed Brett. So Vince screwed Brett, Brett screwed Brett, which is like the, you know what I mean, Montreal screw job. I think that was one of my favorite shirts I wore, that I really love. And a second one I have is like, there was a time where Scott Hall left WWE and they had a fake Razor Ramon at a Royal Rumble.
Oh, right.
And they one of my favorite wrestlers, one of my favorite wrestling company shirts, whatever they make. Pardon the French. It's called Dad's Wrestling Shit. It's called Dad's Wrestling Shit. And they used the original Razor Ramon black and yellow screen print, but they used the fake Razor on the front of it, which was like fire. You know what I mean? So
shout out to them. That's creative.
But y'all know what the most popular wrestling merch?
I don't know. I see a lot of them DX glow sticks at events.
You know what that is, right?
I see a lot of them DX.
You still going? Okay.
I see a lot of them DX wristbands at events. I don't know.
All right.
This is everywhere. This is
Listen,
never going anywhere. Everywhere, never going anywhere.
We tapping into one of the infamous segments. It's infamous because I just like the idea, even though it hasn't become infamous yet. But I believe it is.
You got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere, and we starting here on the Attitude Era podcast. This segment is called Kick Out. On the count of 3, I need everybody. 1, 2, 3.
Kick out.
What?
That's
Wow.
what we were doing. That's what I thought we were doing.
1, 2, 3. Kick out.
Kick out. See, you
You didn't say it the first time.
Holla if you hear me,
didn't
homie.
say
Yo,
it.
why is your joint blinking? Is good? Everything good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, with this being said, we need the camera to be available. Listen, the camera? Nah.
Man,
Good night.
I've heard you say
Uncle's
some
a
wild
freak,
things
y'all.
before, man.
Yo, Kick Out segment. Z's here. He has the questions.
And I'm going to be the ref.
Warren's here. He's going to be the ref. And I'm going to just enjoy the show. You want to get asked
God.
questions. You got 3 seconds to give an answer.
Wow.
You know, just like the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding.
Yo, make sure that like don't fast count me, bro. This ain't WCW.
I mean,
No fast count.
Don't fast count.
I'm on my Earl
Don't
Hebner.
WCW me.
I'm on my Earl Hebner. I got you.
Yeah.
So it's Earl
I need
Hebner.
Earl
You hear
Hebner.
me?
You know what I'm saying? I don't need his brother. I don't need his brother.
So to recap the rules, you're going to have 3 seconds for each question. The last question is a last man standing style. You'll have 10 seconds. Our referee Warren is going to count you down. For every answer he gives, he's going to get a point. If he fails to answer a question, he's going to lose a point, and we'll see his score at the end.
So then I need a device, so I should not be tallying the points. I could do it with my memory. I'm good.
And I need you to let me
This
know.
man
when it's the last
freestyles. He
minute.
can tally points.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, I got you.
Right, all right.
All right. So the
we
kick
go.
out is going to begin in 3, 2, 1. Shawn Michaels or Hulk Hogan? Who's better?
Shawn Michaels.
Who's your battle rap GOAT?
1.
Rum Nitty.
Who is your wrestling GOAT?
1.
The Rock.
Could you make it as a professional wrestler?
Hell no.
Raw or SmackDown, the superior show?
Raw's lasted longer.
If you could only watch one wrestling pay-per-view for the rest of your life, which would it be?
In your house.
Your toughest battle rap opponent yet?
B-Dot.
The battle rap you want the most? Ding, ding. One battle.
I gave you an answer by looking at him.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
My brother's
All right.
keeper?
So his answer was DNA. One battle rapper you think could cross over and make it into wrestling?
Shoot. Lou Castro.
The best wrestling diva ever?
Best wrestling diva, Trish Stratus.
Stone Cold or The Rock?
The Rock. Are you kidding me? I got the chain on, baby. Stop playing with me.
Uh,
Are you kidding me? I don't work this chain for
let's add the
giggles.
best battle rapper diva.
Say it again.
Best battle rap diva.
Don't
My
get yourself
verse.
in trouble now.
My
My verse. May the Lord be
one
with you.
battle rapper who you wish you could rematch.
Chess.
Mike P.
The best,
I had the hiccups that day.
your favorite wrestling match of all time.
Oh, man. Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho.
If you have to get rid of one, Hell in a Cell, ladder match, or steel cage, which are you getting rid of?
Steel Cage.
All right, and now we've got our last man standing. I need your wrestling Mount Rushmore, and then separate 10 seconds, your battle rap.
Top 5?
Top 4.
Top 4.
4.
Oh. Hold on.
Oh, we're not available at the moment. Stand by. This is the part we.
Oh, hey, what's up, Mike? Sorry.
Am I interrupting anything?
Oh, we're gonna shoot.
Yes, you are.
Oh, sorry. There's the new invoice.
Oh, with the new lease.
It has a new lease in it, so you know.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right, you don't need me to send you a digital.
Nah, I'm good.
Oh, this shit live, ladies and gentlemen.
Man,
Lucky this ain't on caffeine.
it's gonna be on Patreon.
This nigga lost the lease, man. We one and done.
Hey,
One
man.
and done, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
All right,
man.
hold on. We're gonna clap so we can.
New era
time
podcast. New Attitude Era podcast needs a new home after the first day.
it. All right, so it's last man standing. 10 seconds each. We need your start with battle rap Mount Rushmore. 4 people.
Top 4. Shoot. All right. Damn. Rum Nitty. Freak. Rum Nitty. K-Shine. Lux.
Ding,
Damn.
ding. So
Good night,
he,
and you could have said DNA at any moment and you did it. He's out of here, ladies and
all
gentlemen.
right, so let's put 10 more seconds on the clock. Your wrestling Mount Rushmore.
Undertaker. Chris Jericho. The Rock. And Stone Cold.
Solid.
Easy. How you get your wrestling rush?
Because there's so many
Quicker
people.
than the battle
what's
rap.
going
You know what it
This guy,
is?
man.
There's so many people. Like, it's hard to choose the top 4 because, like, you gotta add, like, with. I don't know. It's a lot, man.
He ain't gonna see none of them motherfucking wrestlers. He gonna see them battles.
I don't
care, nigga.
Me now.
I don't care what
I'm
they
on
got
him,
to
Uncle
say.
I'm on him.
See?
You ain't say my name. I'm on him. Nah, but that segment was dope. I like that he was able to, you know what I mean, kick out.
He did.
He kicked out. Some got to the 2 count, but he was able to kick out.
Some were almost 3s, but he pretty much kicked out of everything.
That was fire.
How many points I got, man?
Nah, you ran it up. The only thing you lost points on was the
first
last man
last
standing
man
with the
standing.
4 for battle rap Mount Rushmore. We took away 20 points for that though. You ain't say my name.
So you're minus 4.
Yeah, -4.
If I add you to the top 4, will I get that point back?
No,
Oh, it's too late to give you. Yeah.
he's done.
I'm gonna choose your ass anyway.
Yo, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Attitude Era Podcast, Episode 1, DX versus NWO. Make sure you vote in the comments what team you siding with, Team DX, Team NWO. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the page up, give us your feedback, let us know ideas you want, guests you want on the show, all of that. We open to everything. We just started, but we definitely available. Shout out to Chalk Line again for the wonderful merch, the DX jersey, the NWO Wolfpack Hockey Kevin Nash jersey, these are all really worn. So this is not replica. This is authentic jerseys that, you know, the wrestlers wore at one point. Road Dogg, Kevin Nash. Shout out to my great co-host over here.
Z the dropout, get money, drink water, and also make sure.
Though, real quick.
What's that?
Did the top 4 of NWO ever face the top 4 of DX?
No.
No,
Not an
this
official
was
match.
Triple H.
And I'm Warren Wink. Get money, drink water.
And
Other
make sure you guys tap in. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon.
Yeah,
Attitude
because
Era
there will be a
official
bonus episode
with the Saga.
that will be on the Patreon with the
are
Saga.
facts.
That includes Saga's top wrestling bars he said in battles, a freestyle for me based on NWO and D-Generation X, and best and worst baby faces in wrestling. You don't want to miss this.
only
bonus
gonna get
episode.
that exclusively on the Patreon.
So holla
Make
if
sure
you
to
hear
run
me.
that Patreon up. You heard? You don't want to miss this
Immediately.
content.
Oh, I heard
You
you.
don't want to run this up. Like immediate. Like you should.
Like as soon as you
open
finish
up another
watching
tab.
this, you
Open
say,
up another
"Oh,
tab.
snap, these guys talking, they got more, and it's like this, and it's this entertaining. Yeah, I want the Patreon. Yeah, we're available.
God bless.
Good night. DNAGMDW.com. Yeah.